Dr. Anthony Williams.
We are Church Without Walls.
And we are here today to give you information that you don't normally get at church.
We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12.
Call in with your comment or your questions, and we'll be glad to try and answer them for you. If we don't have the answer today, we will get it to you on a message.
Don't you dare miss it.
This is Congressman Cedric Richmond, and you're watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, this is Stan Schofield, and I'm inviting all of my KWK family and my family to watch Church Without Walls, 11 o'clock on Mondays, for the greatest and latest show around. Thank you.
I'm Cynthia Lee Shang, and you're watching Church Without Walls on New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe LaPinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Kick it for me one time.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Especially good morning, July the 20th, 2020. We, Dr. William and Charles Stewart, we so happy to be back on the air again. So it's been several months, 3 months or more since we been on the air to talk with y'all. And we so happy this morning that God has blessed us and allowed us to be here. So many people that we know, friend and loved one, is no longer with us anymore. But we thank God that he, Reverend William always say in church on Sunday, thank God he put us on this daily planet. So we're so glad to be here today in Church Without Walls. We've been away, y'all know, due to the coronavirus, and we so happy to be here, back on the air. We want to talk with you. We want to hear your input, and we look forward to letting the people in the community know is that church and state go hand in hand, much as people try to separate it. We found out that political establishment, they control what's going on in this country. Many people wanted to have church during the virus, and the elected officials said, no, you could not have church. So you done found out now that you do need Dr. William and I to talk with y'all about these things, because when you was born and when the doctors first smack you on your butt, that was political, because they gave you a name, you end up with a social security number. So everything is political. And Church Without Walls, we come, and this show was put together with the people in the community in mind. So Dr. William and I, we had prepared to talk about Black Lives Matter today, but a legend in the civil rights movement, an icon, passed away, as y'all know, Friday night. And we thought that he deserved an honor to be honored today. And the Bible tells us, give respect to those who deserve it. So if anyone deserves it, is Congressman John Lewis. I mean, he is the last of the group of people that marched with Dr. King. As you know, Dr. King, Abernathy, all those people, God have, they with the angels, but Congressman Bob Lewis is the last icon that was a part of that group is still here. There are many more coming, but he paid his dues for us to be here. And we so happy that today we want to honor him. And if you would like to get in on the show today, You're welcome to. The number is 1-563-999-1808. Download the app, tell your neighbor, tell a friend what you know about John Lewis that you want to share with the people across the nation. Again, download the app, www.New Orleans Talk Work. You can go online to the talk show, and we ask that you be a part of the show because, again, this show was designed with the community in mind. So be a part of what's going on in our nation. It's got so much news going on. People dying every day. Over 140 people done died from the virus. But guess what? God kept you and I here that we still alive. So we should tell of God's goodness. And I know as long as God let me live, I'm always going to say thank you, Jesus, for one more day. Dr. Williams?
Give them that number again, Joe.
1-563-999-1808. You can call us, and if Dr. William always says we don't have the question, we don't know the answer, the next show next week we'll certainly have it because we don't know everything. That's why we want to get in the conversation with the people in the community and the people across this country. Dr. William, you have something to say?
Well, we're looking at John Lewis, who was one of the icon of the Big Six, they call them.
Okay.
And these were men who organized the March on Selma, the crossing of the bridge at
John Pettit Bridge.
Edmund John Pettit Bridge, and some of the struggles that they went through. And one thing that we want to look at this morning is that these men had organization. They didn't just get out and march. They had organization. As I studied about John Lewis, I found out that he was a chairman of the Nonviolence Committee under Martin Luther King. That means that they had organization, they had structure, they had training, and some of the marches that we see today, they don't have organization structure to know where they're going, what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, how they're going to intervene in the political arena to get some status on what it is that they're doing. So those of you who are listening to the show today, we hope that you will call in. Charles gave you the number, 1-563-999-1808. Please, sir, please, ma'am, call in and talk with us. Let us know your opinion on some of the stuff that have happened in the past so that we can bring it to the future and live it in our present.
Yeah, Dr. William, as you said that Congressman Lewis, I said those type people is God sent. At the age of 15, he joined the movement, and I think he just was a young man at the age of 15. He see things wrong, and he know that the African America wasn't treated right, and he wanted to do something about it at the age of 15. And he was anointed. I mean, I think at the age of 15, they say he was radical. You know, he was the Malcolm X, A. Ralph Brown type guy. You know, he figured like if they don't give it to us, we're gonna take it. But God put him and Dr. King together.
Well, not only that, when he written his speech and put it on the table, somebody got it over to the President Cabinet, which was John F. Kennedy at the time, and Philip Randolph pulled him on the side and talked to him about the speech that he was about to deliver. He was speaking in a radical term, but they said that that's not going to help us if we just get out there and attack everybody that's in power. We need to try and work with these people that are in power to get our point across, for our actions to be noted, and so that we can accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. So they had a training session,
Right.
okay, and they organized to whereas what they were going to say, how they were going to say it, and with John Lewis, his speech was so radical that he just wanted to just target what was going on. His speech made a lot of sense at the time, but Randolph pulled him on the side and says, we're not going to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish unless we have structure to what we're saying. And not just to tear down somebody, but to build something up. If we're talking about getting things better in the country, we have to learn how to work together with people, because you got to unify yourself. Mm-hmm. And when you unify yourself, you can accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish. But if you don't have no unification among yourself and no unification among the people you're working with, then everything's going to be out of order.
Right.
And we can take that back to even God himself. When he decided that he was going to make man, he had he looked at what was actually happening in the world, and it displeased him how the world was conducting themselves, just as we are conducting ourselves now with the coronavirus. You know, dignitaries tell us that you should wear masks, you should be a certain distance apart. Unless you follow these instructions, then you're going to cause the virus to spread even worse than it's spreading right now. So, brothers and sisters, I want to say to you, listen to those instructions, because if you go back even in Genesis, you'll find out that God told the Israelite how to do it, what to do, and how to control themselves. They were all supposed to stay inside and not go outside the house. By putting the blood on the doorpost, that meant if the death angel saw the blood, then they would pass over the house.
So
So you go into there and you find out that we were looking to see who was the death angel. When you read that book and go in there, you're going to find out that God said, I will pass through Egypt.
Okay.
And if I don't see the blood, then whoever is of the firstborn in that house will die. And we see a lot of people have actually lost their life by going to different parties and whatnot, not being constructive, wearing masks to try and protect themselves, because just one person can infect 1,000.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, so follow these instructions. Try and follow these instructions. They're meant for your good, not for your bad.
Right. And real, what you said is dead on target. And we going to take a break right now, and we talking about the great man of God, a great man for this country and for the world, the late John Lewis. So we'll be right back after we take a station break.
We're going to play a clip from John Lewis when we come back.
You are listening and you are watching Church Without Walls.
We try. I know we can do it. Somebody ask me what do we.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
This is Charles Stewart.
And the Reverend Dr. Anthony Williams.
We are Church Without Walls.
And we are here today to give you information that you don't normally get at church.
We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12.
Call in with your comment or your questions, and we'll be glad to try and answer them for you. If we don't have the answer today, we will get it to you on a message.
Don't you dare miss it.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yo, Mob, kick it for me one time.
What is the world coming to?
Right now, you are listening and watching Church Without Walls. We want to show a clip and the audio volume from John Lewis, the March on Washington. I think he was like 26 years old at the time. That was August 28, 1963. And it was a great speech that he had made. And that's when the nation and the world got to know John Lewis. And certainly he is an icon. So now we would like to show you a clip and an audio version of the speech that he made in Washington.
We march today for jobs and freedom, but we have nothing to be proud of. But hundreds and thousands of our brothers are not here, for they're receiving starvation wages or no wages at all. While we stand here, there are sharecroppers in the Delta of Mississippi who are out in the field working for less than $3 a day, 12 hours a day. While we stand here, there are students in jail on trump-up charges. Our brother James Farmer, along with many others, is also in jail. We come here today with a great sense of misgiving. It is true that we support the administration's civil rights bill. We support it with great reservation, however. Unless Title III is put in this bill, there's nothing to protect the young children and old women who must face police dogs and fire hoses in the South while they engage in peaceful demonstration. In its present form, this bill will not protect the citizen of Danville, Virginia, who must live in constant fear of a police state. It will not protect the hundreds and thousands of people who have been arrested upon Trump charges. What about the 3 young men, Snakefield Secretary in Americus, Georgia, who faced the death penalty for engaging in peaceful protest? As it stands now, the voting section of this bill will not help the thousands of black people who want to vote. It will not help the citizens of Mississippi, of Alabama and Georgia, who are qualified to vote for lack of 6th grade education. One man, one vote is the African cry. It is ours too. It must be ours.
That was Congressman John Lewis at the age of 26. And he died Friday night at the age of 80. And we thank God for the years that God had him on this earth. But certainly, he was one that that fought for civil rights and for our young people. And I always say speeches like that and many other great people is I wonder if I know we should have a section at least every 2 or 3 months our young kids would understand. Many of our young kids did not know. If you ask them, who John Lewis is, many of them wouldn't even know him. But they need to know this is a man that got thrown in jail 40 times. He got beat up, got his head, his skull fractured a couple of times. And all of that for us at the time, we couldn't even vote. I mean, he wasn't fighting for just one thing. It was many a thing that he was fighting for. Voter rights. He was fighting for, if you know that it just said in that speech, but in that speech, he said, we want our justice and we want it now. We don't want it to just keep on prolonging. We want it now. And that was, he was saying, but he was courageous. He may not, he didn't get the credit that the publicity that Dr. King did. And another person that, Reverend William, we should name, the lawyer for them was a gentleman by the name of C.C. Vivian.
Mm-hmm.
He was a lawyer, and ironically, he died 3 hours apart from
him.
From him, yeah, Friday night. And so people like that our young kids, and one other thing, Reverend William, that our young kids, many of them do not know that they up on the work that Dr. King did and come from Louis and many others did. They don't understand that years ago, during discrimination, if you had an automobile, you went to the gas station to buy gas, you had to go to the back door to pay for it. Everything was at the back door. If you wanted to buy some gas, you wanted something out of the store, you had to go to that one in the back that you had to go to. They had a door, they cut it almost halfway. They opened that up and they reach you out. And a lot of our kids, I don't think a lot of them realize that. And that you can go in the front door for anything unless you were cleaning the door or something, but it's so many opportunities that Congressman Lewis created and fought for that. I think that it needs to be more said about it. And Reverend Dr. Williams.
Well, when you think about that, we talk about how they had organization unified themselves as one to work for a common goal. You notice in his speech, John talked about starvation wages, and some of the people who are not here now were not there because they had to continue working on the phone. Mm-hmm. And this kind of prevented them from going out to vote, so they had to fight for that. Even in his speech, he talked about the fear of police brutality, which we see now coming all over the world. We are faced now in this coronavirus with police brutality. They seem to stigmatize us. And, those are some of the things that you're not... To the young black men, I would like to say to them, if a police stop you, don't resist them. You don't have to prove to them that you are a man. You know that you are a man. Just go ahead on and submit to them. If you're resisting, then they're gonna be more hard on you and try to do everything that they can to hurt you. But if you keep that nonviolence perspective that Martin Luther King talked about, everything that he accomplished it with nonviolence.
Right.
So that means that, see, there are some white folks who feel that if they can get you angry, they can control you. Well, you have to be conscious enough to understand when they stop you, they're the officers, they're in control, let them have control. Be a man, stand up and be a man, but you don't have to fight them. I mean, if they stop you on the car, put your hands on the wheel. Right. So when they tell you to get out of the car,
Right.
turn around, they want you to put your hand on the car. You don't have to fight them, because they're going to use that against you.
And like you said, Doc, it don't mean that you're not a man.
It don't mean that you're not a man. You don't have to prove to anybody what you are.
Yeah.
You know, they call you name. Let them call it to you. You know you're not that. Call me a nigga, call me a boy, call me a coon, whatever you want to call me. I'm not that. And I'm not going to answer to it. So I want to say to the young men now who are fighting, trying to fight with the officers, you don't have to do that.
Right.
You know, just be calm. Keep yourself in place. Stay in your lane.
Right.
Let them get out of their lane. And now they have cameras on them, so that's recording everything that happened with them. They want to stop you, take your cell phone out. Put it on video. Record everything that's happening. Record your statement, record their statement, so then you can take that to court with you.
Right.
So these men had construction in what they did. They know what they were going to do, how they were going to do it, and how they were going to get it accomplished. When you look at the life of John Lewis, he was inspired by a speech he heard Reverend King do on the radio. Okay. And that's what caused him to want to become a part of that organization. He was head of the Nonviolence Coordinating Committee in 1963. A young man who was denied a library card.
Right.
Took books and learned how to read. And to some of the young men now who are out on the street, you need to get some books and learn what the law says, what they can do and what they can't do. That way you can protect yourself and others that are with you. We talk about the Big Six. The Big Six were composed of 6 men, and these 6 men were Martin Luther King, who was the head civil rights activist at that time, Whitney Young, who was of the National Urban League, Philip Randolph of the Negro American Labor Council, James Foreman, Jr. of the Congress of Racial Equality, and Roy Wilkins of the NAACP, and then Louis John, who was the youngest of all of them.
Right.
But he was more like a radical. He was, as Charles said, he was the Martin Luther King, the Malcolm X type of syndrome. What you notice about Malcolm X, but it wasn't until he left here and went to Mecca and actually sit down and involve himself with other Christians that his nature changed, his mannerism changed, his character changed. And he made a statement. He says, I'm not against the Muslim. He said, but what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to form a mass, and I'm going to form that mass, and I'm going to tell them how I feel. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to hate them. You can't function if you got hate in your heart. So what you need to do is try to find a way to get with others to help you to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish. Martin Luther King and them went to Congress. They went to the White House. They got involved with President Kennedy and other Democrats to help them to achieve the passing of the voters' right.
Right.
But had they not gotten with these people, did not have the organization structure that they needed, then that couldn't be accomplished today.
Yeah.
Actually, Martin Luther King had to go back and finish the march that William Hosey and him started.
O'Day Williams. O'Day Williams.
Yeah, Hosea Williams started. So when he went back and finished that march from Montgomery to Selma.
Right.
And that was that they looked at what was happening and the problems that they was having, and they developed a structure, an organization status to make sure that they were going to accomplish that. And that's what we have to do. We're out here now and we are protesting and we're being radical and we're being violent. You can't accomplish what you're trying to accomplish with a violent nature.
Right.
You have to learn to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish with a nonviolent status.
Right.
Now we can take that all the way back to the Bible, because Jesus had a nonviolent status.
Mm-hmm.
And Martin Luther King took that up from him. Okay? I believe that he followed the character, the behavior, and the mannerism of Jesus Christ and put that into action. So we have to look back at our past so that we can make preparation for our future, but we have to live it today.
Right. And you know, it's so much, you know, Reverend William, that our people need to know. You know, when you really look at one of the gentlemen you named a while ago, Jose Williams, he was from Louisiana.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I would think a lot of people in this state probably don't know that the Southern Christian Leadership Conference was organized
by him.
When it was organized right here, he knew it. I understand it was organized in New Orleans. And guess who was some of the people? They had used to pastor, I think, New Zion Church, where Reverend Gardner pastor that right now.
Mm-hmm.
The pastor used to be a gentleman by the name of Reverend A.L. Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And he was huge in the civil rights movement. I mean, he was a giant. And he was a part of it. And then former mayor, or the first African-American mayor in New Orleans, Dutch Mariel, was a part of that. And guess who happened to be their lawyer who marched with him? Sheriff Harry Lee. There's a lot of history that we don't know, and we don't understand. You know, you have, everything is a compromise, you know, Dr. Williams. A lot of people don't like to compromise. They think they're right. And a lot of times we don't understand on what people do and how they do it. I'm assuming I'm kind of use a what we call word. I'm gonna kind of use my sanctified imagination that Harry Lee, as a young guy, I guess he was Harry Lee. I think he was a Chinaman by nationality. And I guess he wanted a young lawyer. He wanted to be in the forefront, and that was his way of getting this. You know, old people say get his feet wet. But a lot of people that say, you know, would say like Sheriff Lee was a racist, but he was the lawyer for the SCLC for Martin Luther King and all of them. A lot of people didn't even know that.
People form opinions about a person based on what they heard and not what they know.
Right.
You know, I remember working at the center over in Little Farm, and Ali McGee introduced me to Sheriff Harry Lee, and I sat beside him on that podium, and he said to me, he says, Mr. Williams, whatever you need, he said, give me a call. I had his cell phone number, his office phone number, and a number for his house. He said, if you can't get in touch with me, get in touch with my wife.
Yeah.
And she'll make sure that I get in touch with you. And whatever I asked him for, he made sure that the center got it. And when they transferred me over to the Marrero Center, then I called him again and asked him for some of the same things, and he sent it to me. He sent food over to the center for different people. So when we look at the fact of John Lewis, how John Lewis was a young radical, but he had training from the 6 men who was a part of that organization, and they taught him the right way to do things. You know.
Real, we got to take a break. We're gonna take another break, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna continue to talk about Don Lewis and whatever that that's in the news. We open-minded. You are listening to Church Without Walls, Reverend Dr. Anthony Williams and Charles Stewart. We'll be right back.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Yep.
is Charles Stewart.
And the Reverend Dr. Anthony Williams.
We are Church Without Walls.
And we are here today to give you information that you don't normally get at church.
We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12.
Call in with your comment or your questions, and we'll be glad to try and answer them for you. If we don't have the answer today, we will get it to you on a message.
Don't you dare miss it.
Hi, I'm Christine.
And I'm Loretta. And Noah, we want you to get ready for a brand new talk experience like none other. Well, Christine, tell them more.
Thank you, Loretta. We're presenting to you Women of Significance, brought to you by the New Orleans Talk Network.
So tune in each week for new topics, new guests, new trends, and yes, new gossip and more.
So tune each week for Women of Significance on the New Orleans
Talk Network.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yo, Mob, kick it for me one time.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth.
We are back. You are listening and watching Church Without Walls in the studio of the New Orleans Talk Network. Reverend Anthony Williams and Charles Stewart, we are your hosts. We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12 Central Standard Time. We invite you to call us. The number is 1-563-999-1808 and get in on the conversation. We provide a topic and you break the news. And so we are here to at least to talk with you and also tell you, and also Dr. Williams, now we're trying to show y'all the way Christians should be a part of our political system. And so when we say Church Without Walls, remember you are the church, so we all are part of this. So when the show was created, it was created with you in mind, that our people need to be more educated. And this show here will give you information and news. You ain't going to get it from them other stations. So you're going to get, the Democrat and the Republican, who right and who wrong. With Dr. Williams, we want to talk about subjects that matter, that make a difference in your life, that we're talking today about from Congressman John Lewis and Reverend Williams. We're trying to let our young people and older people tell y'all some things that John Lewis made a difference. Thing that he did, his marching, his living wasn't in vain, Reverend Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we come to tell y'all today, that the thing that he did, it had to be God sent, because the average person that from the beating, and not only he took over 40 beatings, went to jail over 40 times, but if he went to jail 40 times, well, he had to get beat at least 4 times that. So 4 times 4, that is, that's 120 times he got beat up. Don't talk about when they put the fire hose on him. All of that on the sake of where you would have the right to vote. And many of us don't even vote, Dr. Williams.
Well, that's true. That I see some of the youngsters say stuff like, well, they're going to put who they want in there anyway. Well, when you fail to vote, fail to cast your vote, you fail.
Yeah.
You have to be conscious about what you're doing and what you're saying. See, that was an old saying a long time ago, sticks and stones may break my bone, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Words will hurt you.
Yeah.
Words will destroy you. Words will tear you down.
Yeah, get you killed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at this young man, John Lewis. Just by hearing a speech from Martin Luther King, he decided that he was going to become a civil rights activist. As a boy, he lived in a city called Troy in Pike County and attended segregated public school.
In Alabama.
In Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And even with that, the bloody march that they had from Montgomery to Selma. He was in that. As Charles said, he was beaten 40 times. Cracked, his head got cracked and everything. But even in the Senate, okay, we have a speech for him from the GOP, and we're going to show you that clip right now.
I rise to oppose this bill. As elected representatives, we have a mission, an obligation, and a mandate to fight for each and every American. I ask you, Mr. Speaker, who will stand for the American people, who will speak up for those who have been left out and left behind. Mr. Speaker, I've said it time and time again, health care is a right. It is not a privilege reserved for a wealthy few. For what does it profit this body to pass this bill and lose our soul? This bill is a shame. It is a disgrace. Mr. Speaker, today my heart breaks for the disabled, for women, for seniors, and working families. My heart aches for those who are living paycheck to paycheck. My heart mourns for innocent little children whose very lives depend on if their family can pay the bills. This is the right and wrong of it. This is the heart and soul of the matter. We cannot abandon our principles. Mr. Speaker, we cannot forget our values. Have fought too hard and too long to back down now. I will fight any bill that turns the clock back to a darker time. I will fight every single attempt to turn a deaf ear, a blind eye, and a cold shoulder to the sick, to our seniors, and to working families. Mr. Speaker, I will fight every day, every hour, every minute, and every second. I oppose this bill with every breath and every bone in my body. We must not give up. We cannot. I will not give in. Not today, not tomorrow, and never, ever. On this bill, there's only one option, and that option is to vote no. We can do better. Mr. Speaker, we must do better. Vote no on this bill.
Time has expired. The gentleman from Massachusetts.
If you notice, he never stopped fighting once he got into Congress.
Right.
He never stopped fighting. He was always fighting. He took a position, and he held that position until the end. Now, if you notice in his speech, he phrased himself like a minister. And he wanted to be a minister, but he used to practice on the chickens, in his hometown.
Right.
But he graduated from the American Baptist Theological Seminary and Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. So he was somebody who knew that you needed education to advance yourself. And even though he was denied a library card, he got books and read it so that he would be able to articulate what he wanted to in the Congress.
Right.
And when he won that seat in Atlanta to be a councilman, he continued that
fight.
He continued that fight. When the Democrat won control of the House in 2006, he became the senior deputy whip. Even so, President Obama awarded him a Presidential Freedom Medal for the work that he had done.
Yeah.
You know, and it is stated, and here's what I say, it is stated that he refused to go to Trump inauguration because of the things that were happening with the Mexicans. He said it's not good for us to separate children from their parent.
Right.
Knowing had he come up and that we were always separated from our parent, sold off to another plantation or whatnot. All those things stuck in his head, and he brought all that to light so that people could see exactly what's happening in this world. These are some of the things that we as, I'm not going to call us African American, we are American. Why I say we are American? Because we were born in America. Our parents were taken from Africa, but we were born in America. We are an American.
Okay. Rev, we got to take another break. We got to take one quick break. They say a powerful word to call, so we're going to take a break. You are listening to Church Without Wall, and you are watching Church Without Wall. Reverend Anthony William and Charles Stewart. We'll be right back.
I know we can do it. Somebody asked me, why do we have to go through it? It's just a test.
Well, we ain't got no.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Hi, I'm Prophetess Charlene Duforce.
And I'm Bishop Carol Duforce Sr.
And we're from Living Witnesses Ministries.
And we also have a program on the internet called Living by the Word Daily. And we're seen every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on the New Orleans Talk Network.
And we would like to invite you to tune in with us every Wednesday morning. Again, 11 to 12 noon Central Daylight Time. Please join us as we teach the Word of God. Thank you, and God bless.
God bless you.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yo, Mob, kick it for me one time.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth.
We are back. You are listening, and you are watching Church Without Walls. Dr. Anthony William and Charles Stewart. We coming your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12 Central Standard Time. Thank you for listening. We thank you for watching and for inviting us into your office, your home, your car, wherever you may be. We thank you for tuning in to Church Without Walls. And Dr. William and I, we've been discussing about our late great Congressman Don Lewis, who passed away Friday night. And we so happy to do that. And Dr. William wanted to say one thing. People, you know, like sometimes people say that, man, well, he dead, man, gone. But we need to know about these things. The reason why Dr. William, my pastor, was telling me last night, he said he was real disappointed. He said, Brother Charles, he said, and he was a great pastor, I'm not going to call his name, but anyway, he was telling me, he said, my granddaughter, he said, I went to Atlanta and said, I was talking with her, and say, and another pastor called him and asked me to do something. He said, well, he said, I don't know if I want to get in that. And he said, man, man, I'm tired of fighting for those Negroes. And they don't want to help themselves. Say the more you try to teach them right from wrong, the wronger they go. And he said, I'm tired of that, you know. And he said, granddaughter looked up at him and said, Grandpa, what is a Negro? He said, man, I was so good. He said, I just got off so bad. He said, my granddaughter said she, I think he said granddaughter about 14, 15 years old, she want to know who the Negro is, because she said she going to march in Washington with Al Sharpton and them next month, you know. Said she love it, said seen her blood. Said, but it shocked her when she asked, said, what is a Negro, you know?
Well, you know, Charles, we've been called blacks, we've been called niggers, we've been called coon, we've been called Afro-American. What is our identity?
No.
What is our identity? Black folks need a identity that they can relate to. That have changed over the years.
Yeah.
And whenever people change your identity, they change your name.
Yeah.
You know, when God called Abraham, his name was Abram. And he changed his name to Abraham because he was about to take on a new nature, a new character, and a new behavior. And when you study about Abraham, what you find out is that Abraham, God made him the leader of a nation.
Okay.
That was his name, Abram.
Okay.
But then when he changed his name to Abraham, he was the leader of many nations.
Okay. All right.
So that's a big difference. So God has a place for all of us. But the place that he called for may not be your season right now. But you have to wait until he puts you in your season so that you can identify. You see? But a lot of people go before their season, and they wonder why they fail. When you go before God, he says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else shall be added.
Yeah.
So that means that you got to go according to the will of God. When you functioning in the will of God, everything that you're trying to do will come to pass.
Yeah.
Look, I mean...
yeah, you know, you got it there, Doc. And like you said, we call so many names. And he said he tried to told us, said, look here, baby, say, you don't know the Negroes. Said, sit down here, baby. Back in the day they called us Negro, then they called us, we got all kind of names. The black man, African American, Negro. And right now they say African American. It sound better, a little bit more easy. But he told us that if you notice, the white man name never changed. They said Caucasian name never changed. He said, but she was shocked. She didn't know what a Negro meant, you know. But that used to be on the application. Negro on the application. It's not on there. It's African American.
From the word Niger. Niger, they took and put that word to Negro.
Right.
You know, so you got a lot of things. If you go back and research why different things happen, you can come up with an explanation for everything that have happened to the black race of people. We call it a black race, but I don't care who you are. If I cut you and you're white, Chinaman, Indian, whatever, you're gonna bleed red.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bleed red. There's only one blood. You know,
boy, you know, real in our time running down, you know, I seen on television on I think CNN, they do a segment, you know, the guy go across America, and he introduced people. He went into a town, I think might have been Tennessee, Arkansas, one of them. And that is big African American dude. He played the piano, you know, real good. And he was playing it one night, and he said, a guy asked him, said, you was a Negro, how you learned how to play the piano like Jerry Lee Lewis? He said, well, Jerry Lee Lewis and I were friends. The guy was friends. I said, yeah, we were friends. And he said, come to find out, the guy who asked him that was the president of the Ku Klux Klan. Asked him. He said, so him and the guy got to be talking, and they dialogue, and now they're best of friends. Matter of fact, the guy used to be over the Ku Klux Klan, and the gentleman that used to be over the white supremacists, and 3 different major white organizations. Once they started talking, they realized, you know, that, hey, I'm a human being just like him. And those 3 is friends. They were on television last night. I think it was on CNN News. I forget the name of the show. Something about America. The guy goes over the United States. But he had 3. But God, they said God changed the heart of people. Matter of fact, the guy that was over the Ku Klux Klan, I think in Arkansas or whatever state that was, he said like once he started realizing life as a young man, guess who raised him? Black people. And he said thank God that God let him live long enough to go back and apologize to those black people for being ahead of calamity, because he said they raised him and said for whatever reason God let him say later lived to get 103 years old.
Let me just say this, Charles. You had whites marching with Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And you have white who are now protesting. But God allowed this coronavirus to come upon us to try and pull all the people together as one body in Christ. And until this happened, we are disobeying God. And we're disobeying His will. And I'm going to end it by saying this. He gave us 10 commandments and we refuse to live by them.
Okay.
So when Jesus came, He said, I'm going to give you a fulfillment of that. I'm going to give you 2 commandments. Love God and love man.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, you can fulfill the requirement of the law. And that's what we're going to have to learn how to do, to pull this whole world together.
And Rev, you couldn't have said it no better if you allowed me to add to that, is that one thing always goes off in the back of my mind when I be thinking about black and white, whoever you may be, Mexican, whoever you may be, who hate people. I don't care who you are, black, white. They got black people hate people, they got white people hate people, Mexican, Chinese, whoever you may be. If you correct me, I'm not no pastor preaching nothing, Rev, but you correct me if I'm wrong. For those who, they got a bunch of white people hate black, bunch of black hate black. But I got bad news for them, because they got hatred in their heart, Reverend William, and they hate me. It ain't nowhere in the world they can love God. God say you can love me and hate your brother. You never seen me, you see your brother, you hate, so I don't give a damn who they are out there, white or black. If you walking around here on God or is hating people, your ass going to hell.
Put it simply, if you can't walk these blacktop streets down here, then you ain't gonna be able to walk the golden streets in here.
Right. So you better enjoy the palette that you live in, and the limousine, sir. You better enjoy that down here, but you ain't gonna see the kingdom of heaven if you walk around hating people, and you can't talk your way out of that. But anyway, Doc, that's another show. We've been gone for several months. We thank God that we are back. And we're gonna be bigger than ever. We're gonna start having guests on again. And we thank God for those that are listening and watching. So Rev, how we in it?
No such thing as being half dead.
If you're dead, you're dead. Love y'all. See y'all next week. And we hope you have a great week.